Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Tasha, and I am back for season 10 of BET Sunday Best. We are going to recap this season just like we did last season, but I will give you guys a final episode video, okay? Forgive me for that. Last year things just got really crazy, and even though, coronavirus is out there, I pray that your family is safe and everybody's doing well. And if you have had some troubles or difficulties, don't worry, we're still going to keep you in prayer too as well on those things, okay? But at this moment, let's try to forget about what's going on outside with corona, and let's just have some fun while we're here discussing one of the greatest shows on TV, which is BET Sunday Best. All right, so last week they actually started the new season, okay? I came home from work on Monday and totally forgot that I had to record a video. So I was like, I'm just going to let the week ride. It's just an audition. Not a whole lot that I wanted to say about that episode anyway. But I did enjoy it. I did like it, and just kind of, Sunday Best moves fast, and that's one thing that I do like about the show, that it does move fast. They're not filler episodes, okay? They just get you in and get you out, and then we can get to the nitty gritty of the competition later. So tonight we had our last top 10 that went as well. So let's back up and talk a little bit about last week's episode. 10 contestants audition. They kind of followed the same process. No, they did follow the same process that they did last year. There was no band, so no instrumentation. That it was just completely the contestant and their voice, their gift, and you got like 30 seconds or so to do your thing and try to impress the judges. All right, so the judges didn't give like a whole lot of judgy critiques. They pretty much just kind of highlighted what they liked. If anything that they didn't like, they didn't say it, but they kind of worked around it and giving them constructive criticism. I like the judges. I like the advice that they give. I like the things that they point out. It helps me to learn a little bit about, singing and the gifting and the technical stuff and singing and whatnot. So I like that, and I agree pretty much all the time with the judges, because they be saying the things that I be thinking. So Kelly Price is back, Erica Campbell is back, Jonathan Reynolds is back. That's a pretty good team. I like them. Things are going to switch up mid-season. This season, Kirk Franklin is back hosting, and he did let us know that, when coronavirus shut down the production, they had to quickly think of how we can continue to get a show. So I think he mentioned that the first 3 episodes were taped on stage, but then they did have to shut down production, and we're going to see, as we've seen in some of the promos, that they're kind of going to follow what American Idol had to do towards the end of their season, and the contestants were at home, and that's going to be really different, I feel, especially for Sunday Best, because a lot of the emotion that goes into gospel music requires audience participation, an audience there. And so being able to reach an audience through a medium as like television or video, or a song on your phone or whatever, is one thing, but when you get to perform live in front of people, then I feel like you really get to minister to them. So that's going to be a little bit different, seeing how that is going to play and fit into this season of Sunday Best. That's going to be really interesting to watch and see how that works in a show like this. So yeah, let me get my notes real quick. So if you see me looking down, I got a little bit of notes and whatnot. The first 10 contestants I thought were strong contestants, give or take a few here or there, but everybody came out and they really did their thing. Some of my favorites from last week was Nayeli Coffee and Jada Spite, and I also liked Lonnie Banks as well. I was happy to see there was quite a few guys on this one. I think we had like 4 or 5 guys audition in the first episode of Sunday Best, and they all did pretty well and everything, in my opinion. So everybody came out. I enjoyed the first episode mostly because of the song choices that people were using to audition with their songs. A lot of them chose hymns, and being in the state that we're in now where churches are closed, you can't go to your church building and fellowship with people, so we're online, having to put in a little bit more to feel a connection, and just having those hymns sung just kind of would take me out of the mindset of, okay, we're watching a competition show, and just kind of thinking of really what the lyrics are saying, which is one of the main reasons why I like Sunday best. It's not just a show purely about entertainment, or popularity or talent. This is ministry in a way. So yeah, I was in. I ain't gonna lie. I was in on the first episode. So now let's get to tonight. Tonight, the last 10 of the 20 went, and I will say this episode was a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more fun to watch than it was last week. This week we had some really good singers that came out here too. It seemed like the judges were a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? They were a little bit more into it, I feel like, this episode. And also something new that they're doing on this season is that they're actually giving us a look into the deliberations that the judges are having when choosing who's going to move on to the next level. And I like that, because with the first episode, after the first 3 contestants went, I was like, are the judges judging the contestants, or are we just here to kind of pat them on the back and send them on the way? So I wish that maybe they would have put some of that in the first episode. That would have made it a little bit more entertaining to me. But they didn't ask me to produce the show. Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's get into it tonight. Like I said, the last 10 went tonight, and we're not going to get into a whole lot of this because I'm just ready for the competition to go ahead and start, because from the promos, looks like it's going to be really, really good. All right. Some of my favorites from tonight, I will say, I liked Amira Bryant. I liked her. Michaela Brown. Michaela Brown came out. I like Michaela's presentation. I will say that. I liked her presentation. I kind of felt that. Okay, so this is the thing with Michaela's audition. She's only been doing gospel for a couple of months. Whether she was an artist, I didn't catch all of this. I think Jonathan said that during his critique, said that she had vibes of already being an artist in her, and I kind of felt that was a little bit played more to her cockiness rather than her knowledge and expertise of being an artist. Yeah, that's how I kind of felt, because I really wasn't here for her audition. But yeah, you guys let me know what you thought about that. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'm trying to think of who else. Nobody really is standing out besides Amira. I was really... Oh, no. Roman Collins. Yeah, let's talk about Roman real second. Everybody kept saying that even with his name, he's going to be a star. He had the biggest personality out of everybody, even last week's episode. So definitely, I liked Roman. He needs to be somewhere on somebody's television, because not only... can he sing? For him to be so young, to have such an old spirit. But I also think that he would be a great actor, because he just has personality. 4 days, all right. Ashlyn Cole came out, and I don't know why Kirk said we're going to see if she's going to be invited to the cookout, because, this whole race thing is another pandemic that we're facing right now. And so I was like, really, Kirk? And then he had the nerve to ask Erica at the end of her audition, would she eat Ashlyn's potato salad? And I'm just going to answer for Erica and say the answer is no. Because Kirk, you really should have asked that. Okay, not on TV. Come on, Kirk. What are you thinking? So then, they also have Pastor Edward Busta Fields is on there. He did Love Lifted Me, and I enjoyed his audition. During his audition, though, I was thinking, all these pastors who are singers or who want to be singers, how do you make that transition? If you're called to pastor a church, to lead a church, how do you all of a sudden decide, you know what? I'm going to audition for Sunday Best, because I think that's what I want to do. That's just these are things that I be thinking. I was just thinking that. But I enjoyed his audition as well. Oh, Takara Rogers, she went first. She's from Chicago. I enjoyed her testimony. And towards the end of this episode, we did hear, while the judges were deliberating on who was going to make it into the top 10, they said Sunday Best is not really a show about the weight of your testimony. So we're not trying to say who has the tougher or the better testimony. That's the person we need to put on the show. Although I will say, in all reality shows, even singing competition shows, whatever they are, if you have a story, chances are you're probably gonna make it somewhere. I'm just saying, we're producing television still here, okay? But yeah, Takara Rogers' testimony, that was good to hear. Also with Stephanie Summers, she came out. She's like our mother, our church mother. So it's always interesting to see how they're gonna do in their auditions. She used to sing with the Colorado, I think she said, the mass choir, and I see why. She was one of the lead singers. I see why. She did really good. I enjoyed her. Let's talk about Jamal Roberts real quick. Jamal Roberts was on last year's episode. He did not, last season. He was on last season, season 9. Didn't quite make it all the way through, but he made it to, oh, well, I guess we done spilled the beans. He made it to the top 10. So congratulations to him. And like the judges said, I heard growth in him. One thing that I also noticed with a lot of these contestants this season, and something that I'm going to look into for myself, is adult braces. A lot of these contestants wear braces, and I think I'm going to get me some, because I was like, okay, evidently this is a thing. Us people as adults, we're now getting braces, so I'm going to get me some too. All right, so yeah, let's just go ahead. So our top 10 that we are going to have to vie for this season, which surprised me because there were a few people that I kind of saw standing on that stage that didn't make it, that I was like, really? I thought the judges would pick them. The deliberations were tough. It was good to have that fly on the wall inside look into how the judges' thinking process was going, because things got really tough once they had picked like who to me it seemed like they were easy to pick the first 6 people who would pass on, and then when it got to picking the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th person is when it really got tough, because like I said, I felt like it was a good first episode of auditions, and then the second tonight's episode was really good, and so to me, I see why it was so hard to choose. But our top 10 that we have to choose from, guys, is going to be Pastor Edward Busterfield. I'm just going to call him Pastor Edward. Kay Raquel, she was on there. Jada Spite made it into there. Marquise Harris made it. Ashlyn Cole made it. And Nayela Coffey, she's from London. She is our over the seas contestant, so she made it on there. And as well as Lonnie Banks representing North Carolina, and Nicole Gregory, I enjoyed her too as well. Stephanie Summers, and finally Jamal Roberts. And I just hope that he goes further in the competition than he did last season. So we'll see what happens, guys. That's our top 10. This is a tough one for me. I was surprised that Amira didn't make it. I enjoyed Amira. I did. And Roman didn't make it. I was surprised that Roman didn't make it. He has the personality. I feel like his personality could have carried him. Yeah, that one kind of threw me. Marquise. Okay, so Marquise. I didn't like his audition at first, but when I reheard it, I was like, okay, I see why they picked him. Because to me, he was doing the most. That's what to me, Marquise was doing the most. I would have probably picked John Houston from Detroit. But yeah, I don't know. And it's weird. Like Erica was saying, who can carry the mantle of being Sunday best and being able to go out and minister the gospel of Jesus Christ. Any of us can do that. We're all called to do that. But I guess in a way that maybe the music industry is looking for people. I don't know. This was a weird top 10 for me, and I did enjoy everybody. And this is going to be a good season. This top 10, I'm going to go with the judges. I trust them. I believe in them. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. But anywho, I'm not picking who I believe is going to win just yet. Because out of this top 10, I kind of feel like maybe none of my favorites are in the top 10. That's why I can't choose right now, who's going to take this season. But it's going to be interesting. The promos kind of show Buster or Pastor Edward doing his thing, stuff like that. So I'm still looking at the notes, trying to see if somebody's name is going to jump out to me, but it's not. All right, guys, so that's it for right now. I will see you next week for another recap of Sunday Best. We're in season 10. It's going to be good. You guys can go ahead and make your predictions. If you have somebody that you are liking out of the top 10, nobody for me right now. We'll see. I'm going to try to pick somebody by the end of next week's episode. So we'll see what happens. All right. But I'm excited to see what's going on. And it's just good to be back and see you guys. You look good. All right. You look good. Quarantine has done you well. All right. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.